an excuse if you are willing to play on game day. I'm sorry. That's an unwritten rule when it comes to NFL players. The only time I heard about the broken thumb and it being a major problem was once the season was over and they were 8-9. Obviously, Jason told us him and LaFleur are buddies. But yes, as Jason alluded to, it's like youth is a deficiency on a roster. And it's so hard, just going back to when I played, I couldn't imagine starting at tight end as a rookie. It's a tough thing to do. And this, especially on the offensive side, is littered with guys that are young, which is fine. And we're not attacking these players. We're just saying it's going to take, like Musgrave, for instance, I think he is going to be a Kittle-type player, a Kelsey, maybe, a Kelsey-type player, not this year, but in 3 years, along with the other guys. It's steps, it's progressions. You are at your best as an NFL player, I believe, in year 4. Year 4. So we can expect Dobbs and we can expect Watson to be much better. Jalen Reed is going to go through the same growing pains as those two young receivers went through last year.
Him too.
Jalen and Jaden. Jalen's a basketball player. I mean, just look at the safety position. He doesn't even mention the defense. I mean, the defense these past 2 years were supposed to be much better than what it panned out to be at the end of the year. I don't have confidence in this defense.
And there's a part of me that can't excuse, depending on how you rank or grade, the linebackers for Green Bay, because it does feel like every year they have been at that position. I don't feel like when's the last time they had a linebacker, Gabe, where you were like, oh, this guy is a difference maker.
Probably Barnett.
I was going to say Matthews, but he also played.
He was outside linebacker.
Yep.
I mean, he only played inside for the 8 games in the one season. So in terms of inside linebackers, that was somebody. Yeah, it was probably Nick Barnett.
So
I mean, I like Desmond Bishop, but he was just a guy.
Kind of overachieved.
Yeah, kind of the same thing with what they had with Devondre Campbell.
So I don't love the idea of flaw, right? Because to your point, Chewy, like that feels a little harsh to me.
Yeah.
But deficiencies, where are the deficiencies on this team? I think number one with a bullet, especially defensively, has to be at the safety position.
Yeah. Well, number one with a bullet is on defense is the guy calling the plays.
That's a flaw.
You want a flaw? How about the guy who has not had success as a defensive coordinator for 6 years?
What would it take for Joe Barry to impress you? Like, what would you need to see from him? How consistently would you need to see it? Like, if we're starting out the season, what's the earliest that you possibly change your opinion of Joe Barry based on what you see on the field?
Week 16.
What? He's got to go an entire season?
Yeah, he's got 6 years to make up for. You can't just, after 6 games be like, oh, look what I'm doing now. Forget the 6 years.
Yeah, but it's not 1 for 1, right? It's not 1 for 1.
No, that's what I said, week 16. If he shows by week 16, if this is actually, if he can get them to be a top 5 defense, I'll stop making fun of Joe Barry.
So it's 1/6 then. 1/6.
Yeah.
If it's 6 years of bad, you're going to give him 1 season of good. They always say when you break up with someone, you need twice the time or maybe half the time to get over the person. You ever hear that thing? However long you dated, right? Yeah. If you dated for 3 years, it takes a year and a half to get over them. I don't even know what that ratio is. It's definitely not 1 for 1. But it sounds like what Gabe is talking about with Joe Barry. He's given him 6 bad years. If he gives us almost 1 good one, he'll change his tune.
I just want to see creativity. I mean, look at Dallas a handful of years ago where their defense was absolutely terrible. And then they bring in Dan Quinn, and all of a sudden they're much better.
Dan Quinn and Micah Parsons, and they use Micah Parsons all over the place.
But again, they're probably going to use Jair differently this year because if nothing else, Jair said he wants to be used differently this year. They're probably going to use Quay Walker creatively or exotically.
Are they, though?
Yeah, I mean.
Why wouldn't you?
Because he doesn't know how. That's why.
These are great questions to ask, last year when they didn't do these things, Jen.
In order to be a D coordinator, even an offensive coordinator, you got to roll the dice and take chances. He does not seem like that kind of guy to me. He seems like the kind of guy that blitz worked real well the first play of the game, and then he gets torched 3 times and nope, let's just play it safe, keep everything in front of me. You can't do that as a defensive coordinator. You almost have to be like, you know what, this might blow up in my face and I might get fired. But hell with it. I'm going down with the ship.
You got to be like a cornerback. You got to have that cornerback mentality of...
like a gunslinger.
Yeah. You just, or Just like Ted Lasso, you got to be a goldfish. Okay, you got burned on that one play. Who cares? You go back out there, you stay aggressive, you call that blitz again.
Which is part of the reason I think that Sean Clifford actually got the backup gig, because, again, he has talent, but he is a late-round pick, but he has shown aggressiveness. He has shown a willingness to take chances out there, and it's the preseason, so this is when you can do it. Probably is what got him his roster spot. So to answer Dan Orlovsky's question, where's the flaw? It sounds like you guys are going straight to Joe Barry being the defensive coordinator and not having a resume that indicates he can be the guy to lead this unit. And what? Safety position, free safety, strong safety, deficiencies?
The center? We don't know about the center.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm not sold on Myers.
Well, then Zach Tom is there. He was actually taking reps at center yesterday. I saw that come out at practice.
That's because they don't have a lot of faith in Josh Myers.
but the point is that they have a guy that if they don't have faith in Josh Myers, they can plug in there and they think he could be dependable.
Yeah, but it's going to take him a little bit of time. It's not like you can just jump in. That is, correct me if I'm wrong, Chewy, but that's the toughest offensive line position to learn because
Center,
you have a lot more responsibility. So if Zach Tom goes there, that's another player who hasn't played that position consistently at the NFL level that's going to have to grow, and they're going to be growing pains just like everybody else on the roster.
But all I keep reading is that Green Bay's offensive line is a luxury, especially compared to the rest of the league. The rest of the league right now is really struggling with their offensive linemen, protecting their quarterback and whatnot. But Green Bay has talent in spades.
Sure. But they're not deep, and we're discounting the injury. I mean, you lose, say, Zach Tom is out for 6 games, and Myers isn't. Then what? You know, the reason why we were so good in '96 is we were so deep.
But so you're saying you have a backup to the backup at the center position?
Did. Yeah, back in the day.
Is there another guy that could move into that? Because we talk about the versatility.
Runyon is the other guy who's taken.
Runyon was where? Left, right tackle, right
guard.
Yesterday, I think they were.
Yeah, Runyon's a guard. He's a guard. He's an interior guy. He's going to. I mean, so if something were to happen to Myers, if something were to happen to Tom, Runyon would be the guy.
When they were running Tom at center yesterday, and they had Runyon next to him, who was on the outside then?
Probably Yash.
No, somebody else. Who else would it have been?
Rasheed Walker.
Yep, Walker. Who's that?
So Rasheed Walker is the guy that they've also put in at left tackle at times this year. He was a 7th-round pick last year, so he's been on the roster for a little bit. Roster for a year, so. Him, Sean Ryan are guys that they're expecting to grow, especially if someone like Royce Newman, who's also a former draft pick, doesn't end up making the roster. Especially because Newman started a bunch of games, but has been kind of disappointing since that rookie season.
But it's like depth, depth. They lose a tight end. What happens if Musgrave goes down? Kraft clearly isn't ready to play, and I just learned today that DeGore is a fullback. He's not even a tight end. So who's your next guy up?
Austin Allen.
Those are things that chip away. Depth is another flaw.
Tight end, to me, screams to be a position where after the roster cutdowns next week,
they're going to be looking for someone out there.
You got to be looking for a third tight end. I mean, you got to be looking for somebody that has some, especially if Josiah DeGuara is not going to be playing at all at tight end, then you have nobody
because
who's
of the injury.
Yeah, but you're not going to have anybody at tight end who's ever caught a pass in the NFL.
And I think that was a criticism out of the draft, right? Because the whole talk was, are you bringing back Mercedes Lewis?
Yeah.
And once they didn't bring back Mercedes Lewis, there were questions about the experience at that position.
Not that the 8 catches that Smitty has is that much different than 0 catches.
He's a guy. He's probably less than a guy.
So before we go to break, Gabe, where is the flaw? If you had to pick the flaw on this Green Bay Packers team and answer Dan Orlovsky's question, what would you say?
It's hard to pick just one. But I would lean on the youth. And he knows that. Like the youth, and as Jason said when he joined us, there are going to be times where Jordan Love and Christian Watson and Dobbs and Reed and Musgrave are all on the same page, and it looks awesome. There are also going to be times where they are not on the same page, and it is going to be a struggle. But that's part of learning. That's part of letting these guys grow, as Brian Gutekunst wants them to grow this year. There's just going to be there's going to be the roller coaster.
One
this
other
year.
point, Jen. When you have 2 safeties that are very, very average, the easiest thing to do with very average safeties is put them in a position where everything is in front of them. Right? So when you start playing aggressive, like you're saying they want to, and Jair wants to, then you're exposing those safeties a little bit. And if those safeties aren't good, that's the problem. That's the problem. So I'll believe it when I see it, when they say they're going to be more aggressive. But at this point in time, I'm just not buying the safeties they have.
Every roster in the NFL has flaws.
Sure, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just saying, where's the flaw with this team?
Chiefs have flaws.
Yeah, like every team has flaws. So, like, to pretend that the Packers don't have any flaws is interesting tactics.
Oh, it's a guy who wants a job on the coaching staff in the very near future. Are you looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out? Then make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your next dinner destination. I talk about this all the time, guys. I hope you have made your reservations. You can go to aria@stkate.com, aria@stkate.com, because they've got that trademark chicken. They've got the mashed potatoes, the goat cheese biscuits, and so much more with their Sunday family-style dinner. Make your plans today to dine at Aria inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. That website again, aria@stkate.com, aria@stkate.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Everything seems to be moving along a little bit slowly along southbound 43 between Capitol Drive and Locust. The northbound side heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. The rest of the system actually looking pretty good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, slight chance for a sprinkle, partly cloudy, cooler with a high of 78. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 66. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Relive some of the most memorable green and gold moments all season long. Every Wednesday, get to the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page for Repackables with Gabe Neitzel.
Take a breather. It didn't seem like there was that much of a drop-off.
Everybody was good.
Gabe and special guests rewatch and break down select games all leading up to the regular season.
It was one of those games that you knew as a player in that locker room we were going to.
It's Repackables with Gabe Neitzel, only on ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page.
With the NFL preseason officially started, the Women's World Cup victory in the U.S. Open starting soon, we are not the only ones with sports on our minds. Sarah Neubauer is here from Potawatomi Casino Hotel to tell us what is new at the Potawatomi Sportsbook and Casino. Sarah, so many things it seems always going on at Potawatomi. What's the latest?
Yeah, so our sportsbook is gearing up for the NFL's actual season, and before that season starts, we'll be opening a second betting counter with 6 additional betting windows, and then by then we'll have approximately 70 sports betting kiosks on the floor. And then coming soon, we'll have 2 new self-service cash-out machines.
I love the idea of the self-service cash-out machines. And look, you guys have a ton of them already there, like on the casino floors, but it always seems like I'm searching for one when I'm going to like put my ticket in. So I appreciate that you guys are adding that. I heard that one of your guests won a pretty penny on a $5 wager. Explain this to me. It was a 10-leg parlay?
Yeah, one of our guests won a 10-leg parlay on the English Premier League parlay on a $5 wager, winning over $7,000. So that's a fun one.
You also have other ways to win this month at Potawatomi.
Yes, we do. Now through September, we'll be giving away $800,000 in total prizes. Part of those prizes include cash, reward play, and even an all-electric BMW i7. So you just got to play with your club card to earn entries and pay attention to those drawing dates and times.
That's a nice chunk of change. I think I'd be buying steak dinners left and right if I had that in my pocket. Where can I do that?
Well, you don't even have to be a jackpot winner to afford our steak dinners at the Dream Dance. Every Sunday, we have a dinner for 2 special for just $75 total. And so dinner begins with a fresh chopped Caesar salad, followed by bone-in ribeye, steak, and shrimp, served with mashed potatoes and asparagus. And your choice of a bottle of red or white wine is included. Completing the experience is our wonderful grasshopper pie dessert.
$75 for all of that is an incredible deal. I know. I dine out in Milwaukee. I don't think that you can beat that anywhere. Where can you get more information on all of these things that you guys have going on at Potawatomi Casino Hotel?
Paysbig.com.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Labor Day sale is going on now, featuring unbeatable deals on fall essentials for your home, work, and vehicles. Like 5-quart jugs of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil, just $22.99 after sale and $10 mail-in rebate. All Blazer trailer lighting is 10% off for rewards members. Plus, when your car's in the shop, get 10% off in-store purchases with $100 or more spent on tire and auto service. See store for details. Tires and batteries, trust and care. A Blaine's Farm and Fleet promise since 1955.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Here, you can just save yourself so much time by going, okay, we like this guy, this guy, this guy. Let's take a look at all the different things he did at the Combine. I just hit my phone, and now my hand is just tingling.
What's with you two today? Jesus. Do you know how to function?
I just like...
On 94.5 ESPN.
Milwaukee, Ewald Automotive. It's calling a 2-minute warning on remaining 2023s. Rush in today for Ewald's Model Year Closeout Sales Event. Shop every 2023 model at the lowest prices of the year. Score big with the low price guarantee and go long with the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty that you only get with Ewald Automotive. So make the winning play. Get to the Model Year Closeout Sales Event going on now. It all starts at ewaldauto.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy back here at 1848 Coffee on West National Avenue. It is Ashton's favorite time of the week. Go ahead and roll that open, Ashy.
Think you know the show better than the average ESPN Milwaukee fan? Now's your chance to prove it. It's time to play The Week in Rechew.
How you feeling today? We're on remote. We're hanging out here at 1848, so I feel we're out of our element a little bit. Are you still locked in, focused, ready to go?
We've had a good week, huh, Ashy? No fighting?
I wouldn't agree with that in the slightest. The hell are you talking about?
Remember? I'm not allowed to say it. I was like, remember when you did the thing? It might be on the Rechew, so I can't say it.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. 2 M's. All right, bring it, big boy.
Got 5 questions. Chew, you get 3 right, you win. You get 3 long, you lose, and that means Ashton wins. Question number 1. What MLB player were we talking about keeping a ball from when you said this?
I mean, Jesus throws me a nail, I'm keeping that sucker.
I think we just...
What Major League Baseball player were we talking about?
No. What player were we talking about keeping a ball from when you said...
I have no idea.
Because you were talking about who would you keep a ball from. If Jesus threw you a nail, you'd keep it. So if this player threw a ball into the stands, Ashton would have definitely kept it.
Jim Rice?
Okay.
There it is. Yeah,
that's a big.
Shohei Ohtani.
Oh.
Shohei Ohtani was the answer we were looking for.
All right.
Genius.
Can we just hear the clip one more time? Because that was my favorite part of the entire week.
Sure can, Gabe.
I mean, Jesus throws me a nail, I'm keeping that sucker.
I mean, who's giving it to a kid?
The nail? Well, no, it's dangerous to give the nail to a kid.
I love the double down of Chewy on that because he's right. You know, he's right.
All right.
All right, here we go. 0-1. Question 2 starts with an audio clip.
This is what you get when you don't share information with me. If you share information with me, I'll be content.
You said that after outing Ashley's girlfriend's name.
Emily.
No, it's fine. It's whatever. It's fine. I'm just gonna tell her to watch out.
What other thing?
Yeah. What other thing did you claim
the show keeps from you?
Oh, your text chain. Your secret text chain.
Which again, for the record, does not exist. There is no separate text chain that we are excluding Chewy from.
A quick editor's note on that one. I wanted to ask the question, was Chewy lying there? And I felt like it was too easy.
All right, so you're 1-1. This is always the...
This is the hump.
This is the crucial one.
Yeah.
You get it right, then you only have to get 1 right the rest of the way. What is this next clip in reference to in your life?
I'll trade off the blood work for the digit.
What is that referencing?
The beehole.
I think he knows.
What? Okay, so in your life.
What event in your life are you referencing with that clip?
I got to take a physical right after the show.
And what about the physical? You don't want to get it.
I do not want the needle.
Okay. Not wanting to get a physical. I think we count that.
That one.
All right, so you only have to get 1 of the last 2 right.
Okay.
Chew.
I feel pretty good.
And question 4 starts with the audio clip.
Started out in the military where they'd give it to people in the military. Someone call in where they wouldn't get a Woodrow Wilson.
It's probably my second favorite moment of the week. What is the scientific name for the substance you were telling us about this week?
Saltpeter.
Scientific name.
Well, I don't know that.
I know.
We
I don't
said
think
it.
it's fair.
We said it on the show.
We said it multiple times on the show right after that.
I don't believe you.
We did.
Do you have the video, the audio?
I sure do. You can go to WisconsinOnDemand.com to find the podcast.
Thank you.
Potassium nitrate.
Okay,
Potassium
I would never have gotten
nitrate.
that.
All right, comes down to question number 5. Is Ashley going to win? Is Chewy going to win? What are the two popular food items discussed this week that you believe have similarities? There's no audio.
Oh, there's no audio.
There's no audio.
Wait, what?
What are the two popular
Jen doesn't
food
even
items
know. Oh, when she hears
discussed
it,
this
she'll
week
know.
that you think have similar qualities?
So it has to probably do with Ashton's cooking.
This is
What are
is
two
possible.
popular food items that you
have
think have similarities?
Similarities.
This is very
Can
ambiguous.
you give me the day?
I don't want
Is this
to.
Wednesday?
Wednesday?
I think this was Wednesday.
I don't even have a guess.
Actually,
Macaroni and cheese
Jen, were
and
you on this
peaches.
show?
There's-
Was this Tuesday?
I don't know.
Maybe this was Monday.
We talked about this, I feel, a couple of different times throughout the week.
No, I'll give you a hint. It has to do with
These
texture.
two foods have similarities?
It's too far back.
Actually, just play the clip.
Yeah, you know watermelon sugar?
There's no chance.
Okay, well, I thought maybe there's a food and sugar, and we just feels like
Watermelon. That's the name of a band.
what?
are
I'm
we
so
talking about?
confused.
Watermelon.
Why wouldn't you?
Harry Styles, watermelon sugar?
Why wouldn't you have the audio as part of the clip? And why would the clip not include the answer?
I wanted to win this week.
This is under protest.
I think you have a case.
I do.
The answer is ice cream and eggs.
Watermelon sugar, ice cream, and eggs? I don't understand. I'm so confused.
remember
Ashley,
talking
can you
about
please
ice cream.
explain this to us?
I wanted Chewy to lose this week, so I used a different clip. That's
I
pretty
get it.
simple. Yeah, I just wanted to win.
That's pretty much what it is.
So
You
we're-
outed his girlfriend not once, but maybe 3 times, actually. I've lost count.
Oh, I'm not done.
That's pretty much it.
Will this feud ever end?
Hopefully not.
We are the definition
Hashtag
of
contact?
love.
Yeah, we're
Who's to say?
100%.
All right, so did he win?
No,
or
he lost.
Is it a tie?
It's
It could be a
under
tie.
contest. Yes.
That last question was very, very strange.
Eggs and ice cream?
That was the worst question that you've ever put together.
Yeah, that was
Ashton.
terrible.
Sure was.
You should be a little embarrassed.
I'm not. I won. I'm sure was. I sure was. And your point?
I guess the lesson is here, Chew. You better get 3 of the first 4 because question 5 going forward
now on.
might be really hard.
Question 5 is going to be like, what was the letter in the middle of the third word you said on Wednesday?
I'll get a spy because he's got to be doing that in a room that someone else uses. I got people.
It's on my desk,
Yeah,
on my computer.
it's all right. There's no one else in the room when you're working on this?
It's in the open. Or it's 5 a.m.
Wait, when do you do it in the morning of?
Yeah, it depends. But yeah, today I did.
It means you have to come in early, Chew. You want to come in early and try to like snoop around?
I'm good. I
yeah,
don't
that's
know that bad.
that's what I thought.
What he pays his spies
Yeah.
for. Get perked up. Let me tell you guys about Perky's Old Fashioned. It's Old Fashioned mixed with booze already inside with both brandy and bourbon options, and both are fantastic. And trust me, if you are a brandy person like me, you're going to want to try the bourbon. If you're a bourbon person, you want to try the brandy because both are fantastic options. You can get Grandma Perky's secret whenever, wherever. All you have to do is add soda. Perky's is great for boat days, weddings, holiday parties, and everything in between, which includes, of course, football. Week 0 this weekend. Nothing better than kicking back on the couch and having a Perky's Old Fashioned. Perky's Old Fashioned, locally made, Wisconsin made, your bartender in a bottle.
Come,
Full
Gabe and
show.
Chewy listeners, Ty Majeski from the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is going to join us live. Stick around.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are slowing down still on 43. Southbound from Brown Deer Road to downtown will be about 14 minutes, an extra 3. Same thing for the northbound side. All of it happening basically between Capitol Drive and Fond du Lac Avenue. So heads up with that. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. Typical Friday morning. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Slight chance for sprinkle, partly cloudy and cooler, a high of 78. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 66. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
This is the year to buy the woman you love a big anniversary diamond.
What's a big anniversary diamond?
A big anniversary diamond is any diamond that's at least twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Why twice as big?
A big anniversary diamond says, I love you twice as much today as the day I married you.
People are always so happy when they see the price we can give them.
Kessler's has wonderful prices on 1 carat, carat and a half, 2 carat, and 3 carat big anniversary diamonds.
People will ask you about your big diamond everywhere you go.
So big anniversary diamonds are the hot new trend?
It began with men buying big anniversary diamonds for the women they love, but now it's gone to a whole new level.
Women are now buying big anniversary diamonds for their men.
Women are saying two can play that game.
I like games that two can play.
Everybody likes games that two can play.
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, quiet tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This Labor Day at the Home Depot, we're rolling out store-wide savings, like a new lower price of $99 on the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2-tool kit, because we see long weekends as an opportunity to power up your projects. With the One Plus battery system that works on over 280 products and counting. All driving you to do more this Labor Day at the Home Depot. Get the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2-tool kit for a new low price of $99. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Broommate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by the legendary golfer Arnold Palmer, settled amongst 250 acres of beautiful private land. The Bog caters to golfers of all skill levels, offering a golf experience unlike any other. Come enjoy the finest golf greens in Wisconsin, and after your round, enjoy a bite to eat in our restaurant or out on our new patio bar overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Come on, guys. Let's think about this. Could you do 50 straight days of burgers?
That was very condescending. I just
No,
want to be clear
that's
on
not.
the tone.
Let's put our heads together.
Do this.
Again, I have children. I know condescending when I hear it.
I can be. Come on,
On 94.5 ESPN.
It's a big day here at 1848 Coffee, Customer Appreciation Day. Customers can enter to win free coffee for an entire year. And oh, by the way, we got some superstars hanging out with us here. Ty Majeski is a full-time driver on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He happens to also be from Seymour, Wisconsin. And he will be racing in the Clean Harbors 175 on Sunday at the Milwaukee Mile, where he won in June in a super late model. Ty, it is great to chat with you. I know a lot of people are excited about the Milwaukee Mile hosting racing again. And you were saying this is kind of a unique space for a guy in your series. What's unique about the Milwaukee Mile in your racing?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, first of all, for me, it's great to come back to Wisconsin, right? I'm from about 2 hours, 120 miles north of here in Seymour, Wisconsin. So it's cool to finally have a home race on the NASCAR stage. And, Wisconsin is such a honey hole for short track racing. And I feel like NASCAR was missing, this part of the country on the NASCAR schedule. So Road America is always a huge hit for Xfinity and Cup. So to have a truck race up here is great. Going to have a lot of friends, family in the stands. But the Milwaukee Mile's just got a ton of history, right? It's one of the oldest racetracks in history in the country. So just to come back here, it should be a staple on the truck series, and hopefully it is for years to come.
Ty, how did you get into racing?
I started out racing go-karts. dirt oval when I was 9 years old up in northern Wisconsin, and moved into super late models, which they run around here. Numerous racetracks, Wisconsin Dells, Madison, Slinger. There's multiple racetracks in the area, and then eventually moved up in the NASCAR ranks. Yep.
When somebody says, let's go on a road trip, you don't want to drive, do you? Do you get sick of driving with all the, because it's your job. Like, you have to do it professionally.
I drive all the time. I actually don't like to fly that much. I'm just not a huge flyer, so I drive to a lot of these places. I'm back and forth. Our race shop, Thor Sport Racing, is out of Sandusky, Ohio, which is about 6.5 hours from here. So I'm driving back and forth there all the time, driving to all these racetracks, so putting a lot of miles on my truck for
How
sure.
many speeding tickets? Because we have competition.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, who has...
And she just crushed an espresso. So the odds of her getting a ticket on the way home are very, very good.
It's like a 22-minute drive, 25-minute drive. I won't get well, it's an 18-minute drive if I go as fast as I usually go. So are you a speeder? Do you get speeding tickets?
I always like to make time. Yeah, you always have to beat the ETA.
Oh, high five to that. I'm the same way. An hour 22?
Yeah.
Hour 12?
That's right. That's right.
So when's the last time you got a speeding ticket?
Actually, on the way home from Nashville, I got a speeding ticket. Yeah.
Wait, I want to hear this conversation.
I would say about 2 months ago.
Do you tell the guy, like, I'm literally a NASCAR truck driver? Like, do you say to that?
Oh, I accidentally slipped on my NASCAR license. Oh, sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
I would immediately do that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's funny.
Well, how fast are you guys going in those trucks? Like at the Milwaukee Mile, and I know you talk about it being a big track for the trucks. How fast do you get those suckers going?
So average speed, now this is average, will probably be around 125 to 130 around there. So top speed's probably at the end of a straightaway, maybe 150 or so. Yep.
What's your favorite track in the country?
Boy, so I will speak to first late model. So there's a racetrack up in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. It's a D-shaped oval, rough, has a lot of character. Grew up 15 minutes from there, so that's my favorite late model track. I would say on the NASCAR schedule, a place like Richmond, Virginia. It's a short track, a 3/4 mile, very low grip, just a lot of tire fall off. The asphalt is very coarse, so it creates the tires to wear, a lot of fall off, puts a lot in the driver's hands, so that's a lot of fun.
When you're in the truck driving, you're getting ready for the race. You got to be careful what you're eating and drinking before the race, because you want to make sure you have to avoid any bathroom situations as you're driving during the race.
Well,
because I've heard story of NFL players who just they'll go pee in their pants, just don't care. You got to go. What do you do when you're in the truck?
So honestly, it just goes away. You don't even think about it. You're so focused on what you're doing, you just don't think about it until maybe a caution comes out. So, but yeah, I make sure we hydrate. I mean, it's of the upwards of 130 degrees in those trucks, and you're in them for 2 hours. We can lose 10, 15 pounds of water weight just in a couple hour race. So just have to prepare your body because it is quite strenuous on it. So just have to be prepared, right? Make sure you eat carbs the night before, something that I do, just to keep energy in you.
Ty Majeski joining us here at 1848 Coffee in New Berlin. He is a Truck Series racer. He's racing at the Milwaukee Mile this Sunday. And it says here that you won your last race 2 weeks ago in Indy. What has been the highlight of your career? Like, what has been that moment where you're like, holy crap, I feel like it can't get any better than this?
Well, I think just being able to have this opportunity with Thor Sport. I've been in the NASCAR, dabbling in NASCAR since 2017, and it's taken me till last year to really, I feel like, find a home with a good opportunity and good equipment with good people around me. This isn't like other sports, right? It's a very much a team sport, and there's so many other factors than just the driver. So the trucks, they need to be set up correctly. The people do that. The trucks need to be, right, have good bodies hung on them, right? You have to have a good pit crew, right? There's so many factors that go into being successful as a race car driver, and it takes a lot to put all that together. And I finally found a home at Thor Sport where I feel like I've done that, and we've been able to, run very successfully over the course of the last 2 seasons together.
You guys ever get road rage? Jen had an incident about a week ago at Costco where a guy cut her off, and she actually chased him down for like 3 miles.
That's not what happened.
Tell the story.
But it is a good story.
I got to hear this.
But do you get road rage?
Oh, I get furious. I mean, slow drivers in the fast lane.
I'm talking on the track.
I was talking on the road.
Yeah. Why not both? Yeah.
I try and stay level-headed on the track, so I honestly get more frustrated with drivers on the road than I do on the racetrack, believe it or not.
What is your go-to thing? Because I'm always like...
You got to flash the brights at them.
You flash the brights? Oh, man. I get right up on their backside, then I back off. Get right up on their backside.
Yeah, that too.
We have so much in common, by the way. Both of us don't like flying. We would prefer to drive. We prefer to drive fast. We have road rage.
Yeah.
Like, feeling of kinship here with you, Ty.
I'm just learning that you should be a NASCAR driver. That's
I
what we're
told
learning
you
from.
that years ago that I wanted to drive NASCAR. Are you a Wisconsin sports fan then?
I am.
Packers,
yes,
Bucks,
I actually have
Brewers?
Packers season tickets. Yeah, my parents put me on the waiting list when I was born. I'm 29. I just got the tickets last year.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's huge. You got to
Yeah.
throw a party for that. So how are you feeling about Jordan Love this year and the offense and the Packers and what they can do?
I don't know. I was skeptical about it, but boy, they're looking not bad. So I don't know. I think if we can, 9-10 win season, I think would be probably exceeding expectations. That'd be a good step in the right direction.
You get a chance to get up to any games, or will you be so busy with all of your racing responsibilities it'll be tough?
Well, I'm going to get to at least a handful of them this year. Yeah, so I'm excited for it. That's our off season, so that's kind of the time to, hang out as a driver, right? It's off season, so definitely going to get to a few Packer games.
If you weren't if you weren't driving, if you weren't a professional driver, is there another sport that you would like to try your hand at?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm not built for really any sports. I'm about 5'4", 140 pounds, so I don't know. Not really. I'm a huge sports fan. I played them in high school, but probably not professionally.
What did you play in high school?
I ran track. I played basketball in middle school, and then once high school took over, I gave up basketball and all that kind of stuff. So
I imagine
it
you
takes
have
a lot
to
of
spend
time.
an awful lot of time at the track to get where you are.
Yeah, it's racing is different. I mean, I shouldn't say different than other sports because I can't speak to that, but you have to live, eat it, sleep. It's a way of life, right? Racing is a way of life. It takes a lot outside of the racetrack that people don't see to be successful.
Like you got to work out and stay in shape and all that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just different than other professional sports because you're going someplace new each and every week.
Correct.
In football, you have 8 home games.
Yeah.
It's not like, I've got a home race this week.
But he does.
He
literally has a home race this week.
But yeah, correct.
But I mean, but you got to pack up. It's just a traveling circus. I got to imagine year round.
You're always on the road, right? I live here mostly, but I'm in Ohio. I spend every other week in Ohio at the race shop, and then every Monday and Tuesday we have simulator in Charlotte. So I'm on a plane every Monday or Tuesday to Charlotte. Fly back to Wisconsin. I mean, you're always on the road.
This is exactly my schedule.
Yeah.
I got to go to Charlotte on Thursday. Got to go to Oklahoma City on Tuesday. So we are running parallel lives here, especially with the fast driving. So great to be joined by Ty Majeski, who will be competing this Sunday at the Milwaukee Mile. And it's a playoff race. I'm seeing that here in my notes.
Playoff race, yeah. So the first round of the playoffs was last week in Indy. I won, so I punched my ticket into the second round, which starts at Bristol in September. So these next 2 races, I can relax a little bit. I have no pressure.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that we will be rooting for you. Wisconsin will be rooting for you. Get on down to the Milwaukee Mile this Sunday for the race. Root for Ty. We will take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Appreciate you guys having
Be right
us.
back
Thank
after
you.
this.
Doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facilities specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Look, you could be dealing with low testosterone, not even know it. If you're tired, groggy, just don't feel like yourself, don't have that energy that you had even a year or two ago, that could be signs of low testosterone, and it's easy to find out if it is. You go to Mentality. Their website is lowtusa.com. Book an appointment. Go through the blood panel. Within a week, your results are back to you, and if your testosterone levels are low, you get to start working with Mentality, and they'll have a customized solution just for you. Go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments at lowtusa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. After a tough battle, Catholic Memorial looks to get back on track. The Crusaders play host to the Marquette Hilltoppers on Friday night. Gabe Neitzel and Mike Bedole have the call starting at 6:30 right here on 94.5 ESPN. Catholic Memorial Football on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by R&R Insurance, Gerald Nell Inc., Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Wind Dancer Balloon Promotions, Suburban Asphalt, Perspire Sauna Studio, Home Sealed Exteriors, BC Adhesives, and Lake 5 Landscape Supply.
Are you looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out? Then make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, your next dinner destination. Specializing in artisanal American cuisine, Aria features carefully prepared seasonal entrees along with a robust selection of craft cocktails, wine, and local beer. Join them on Sundays for the restaurant's famous trademark chicken, served family style with sides like mashed potatoes, goat cheese biscuits, and more. Make your plans today to dine at Aria. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com. That's aria@stkate.com.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Look at all this space I have on my desk. Finally, no more clutter.
I know, right? Plus, now I can actually see everyone and talk to them whenever I want.
Would you stop trying to ask people if there are more doors or wheels in the world?
Speaking of wheels, these chairs, woo!
I've never been more comfortable at work.
Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors, the official moving and furniture provider of GKB Milwaukee.
A cat store!
Want to go see it?
Yeah!
Let's finally bring your mom's Illinois family a true taste of Wisconsin.
Right off I-94 in Kenosha, Mars Cheese Castle is a Wisconsin landmark. Along with over 1,000 cheeses, Mars has a meat market, bakery, bar, and restaurant. Spreads, curds, sausages, Kringles. Make Mars Cheese Castle a lunch stop and enjoy the best grilled cheese or Reuben on the planet. Make today your day to go to Mars.
Yeah!
Exit 340 in Kenosha.
Take a walk down Main Street, any Main Street, and what do you see? Unfortunately, during COVID-19, many businesses have had to limit their hours. Some have furloughed staff or cut wages. Others have shut down completely.
A loss of income for many can have serious consequences, as people often must leave their neighborhoods and homes in search of more affordable housing. Added to this heartbreak, some people of color face housing discrimination as they look for new homes and are shut out of certain housing opportunities because of their race, color, or national origin.
This must stop. COVID-19 inequity is real, and it shouldn't be made worse because of housing discrimination.
If you suspect housing discrimination because of your race, color, or national origin, file a complaint with HUD so we can investigate it.
To learn more, go to HUD.gov/fair housing. Fair housing. The law is on your side.
A public service message from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So you mentioned Super Bowls and parties and how they don't go hand in hand, which again is an absurd comment by you two, but it's just one of many on the show.
Dumber thing that Chewy has said this morning. Super Bowls and parties don't go hand in hand, or cheddar is not a top 10 cheese.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
The best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee, of course, it's only at the Jewelry Center. They have a team of specialists that will help you bring her dream ring to life. They did for me. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted my wife's ring to look like. Maybe you're just not quite sure. Go to her Pinterest board, see what she has saved on there. You take those ideas to the Jewelry Center, and they will take care of the rest. Learn more about the diamond jewelry selection at shoptjc.com or stop in at the Jewelry Center at any of their 3 locations, Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington.
Heck of a rap, but I'm thinking it's time to grow.
Back here at 1848 Coffee, West National Avenue in New Berlin. We put it on the poll earlier this morning. In a New York Times sports article, Giannis said, if I don't feel that everyone's on the same page, I'm not signing an extension. Which word best describes how you feel reading that quote? The options are understanding or annoyed. 73% of people say understanding. 27% of people saying annoyed. Todd weighing in saying he got the coach he wanted, the teammates he wanted. Milwaukee is doing fine. This comment just keeps the pressure on the front office. And I would argue, I'm not sure that you need to. Again, I'm going to the benefit of the doubt here thing of like, we've done all these things. Why wouldn't we continue to do those things? But Gabe, your point is new coach is not the only change.
Yep.
New ownership. And maybe that's who this comment was directed towards.
Yeah, I think you got to make sure that, because the one thing that ownership may be scared to do, what if Adrian Griffin isn't the right guy? Much like Ray Rhodes wasn't the right guy for you guys, Chew, back in 1999. Right away, what was Ron Wolf had the ability to get rid of Ray Rhodes right away and move on. Well, they just fired Mike Budenholzer. I think he had about $16 million left on his deal. Are you willing to fire somebody that may not be a fit right away and continue to take on that money, continue to push yourself into the luxury tax, which you have to do in order to be a successful NBA team? Putting that pressure, especially when there's a new owner there that has not had success as an owner in professional sports, makes sense to me.
The only thing that bothers me is the Bucks have done everything.
Yep.
Right? Everything. Checked all the boxes, done everything, got the players they wanted, take care of them. I just think it could have been said a little bit softer. But it didn't have to be as threatening. It could have been like, I have all the confidence in the world that the Bucks are going to do what's right for this organization that's going to keep me around for years to come. I just don't like threats. You guys know me. I don't like threats.
He's already told this also to Bucks management. It's not like they didn't know any of the things that he said in this New York Times.
But then I think Chewy's point is then keep it in-house. Then it stays in-house. If you've said to him, like, look, you guys have done a great job. I expect you to continue doing a great job. But if you don't, if you fall short, if you misstep, if you decide not to make necessary moves, then you have to understand where I'm coming from if I take my talents elsewhere.
Yeah.
For some reason, that sounds a lot more gentle and kind, and again, given the relationship between Giannis and what we perceive to be the franchise, that's kind of how I always interpret these conversations to be.
But again, if you continue to read the article, he has the quote, as long as we're on the same page with that, you show me and we go win another championship, I'm all for it. The moment I feel like, oh yeah, we're trying to rebuild, there will never be hard feelings with me and with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, and I got to be honest, I don't think there will ever be hard feelings between Milwaukee and Giannis. I don't think anybody in the fan base is sitting here going, oh, what a bum.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. How could he be
no.
so insensitive?
But,
I think Chewy, you're right. It's a little like of.
And I think we're a little shell-shocked because of the Rodgers situation and how that all went down. I think
again, you're saying PTSD. There's a little PTSD
correct,
there.
Jen.
But, I mean, again, Giannis has said things, maybe not this direct, he's said things in the past that when he signed the last Supermax, there were people who were worried that he wasn't going to sign that, and other teams thought he was going to maybe be available. He signed the Supermax. He stayed here. He's just letting these expectations that he has, he's putting them out there in the public, just like he's always done. To me, this is nothing different than what Giannis has always done whenever these big pieces about him have come out.
Did you actually think I was going to read the whole article?
No.
It's a fair question.
I did
it
not.
Is fair. I mean, you said if you keep reading, and it's like, Gabe, come on, what are we doing?
Well, I knew he didn't, so I had to inform him of the other things that were said.
Adam in Cedarburg weighing in saying this is becoming eerily similar to the Rodgers and Favre situations. It seems like how it started with both of them. I need this. I want us to be all in, or maybe I shouldn't be here anymore. It seems like when players get to a certain status, albeit earned, due to what they've accomplished, they want to call the shots. Is this normal?
I don't think he's calling any shots, though.
He kind of is.
Other than Thanasis, all he's saying is, I want to win. Isn't that what any competitor ever wants?
But again, this assumption that the organization doesn't, I think the organization has shown they do.
Until they don't, right? Because the Packers were all in with Aaron Rodgers until they weren't. So at some point, The organization is going to...
You have a committed relationship to your wife. Do you say to her, like, hey, things have been going swimmingly. Things have been good. But if they don't, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? You just assume they will continue to go swimmingly based on what you have seen.
Yeah, but what if they make a misstep? What if Chris Middleton gets hurt, they can't get anything for him, or Drew Holiday retires, they don't have the right replacement for him, and the Bucks start to go through a rebuild, and Giannis is in his prime, and he wants to win more championships?
Well, I think he should know that they're going to do everything humanly possible to get him what he needs in order to succeed. I can't say that's going to translate to championships, because I can tell you this, it is really hard to win a championship.
Right, and I thought that they were primed to do so this year.
I feel like, you're committed to this wing until you're not, and it makes sense. Like, it made sense for the Packers this year to hit the reset button. They had leveraged as much as they could against the salary cap. The team was starting to get younger. They had decided to trade away Devontae Adams a couple of years ago. It just made sense to kind of hit that reset button. The Bucks are going to reach that point as well. Maybe they reach that point in 10 years.
After a title?
Yeah, after a title. Maybe they reach it in 10 years. They figure out a way. They get one of these young players that they've drafted who develops into that next star to play alongside Giannis. But at some point, that's going to happen. And if you rebuild, if you decide you need to rebuild, Giannis is not going to be a part of the rebuild.
We cannot thank our friends here at 1848 Coffee enough for having us on Customer Appreciation Day. Make sure you stop by 13575 West National Avenue. It is Customer Appreciation Day. Free drip coffee and cold brew until noon. Wilde and Tausch is coming up next on ESPN Milwaukee.
Wrapping things up with a nice smooth ride for the most part. Just a